Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. It's your host Terry, coming to you from sunny Marshall, Michigan. It's actually a beautiful day, a little chilly, but it's still February and it's Michigan. So I'm going to hold off telling you much about Marshall until my next video, because I'm gonna shoot a couple of videos back to back. We are definitely going to get to the videos I've been talking about owner-operator retirement options. Also, this will be a lot of useful information for company drivers about insurance, so group insurance versus personal insurance. But today I want to get to a couple of kind of legislative / regulatory / money-making opportunities for states that may impact, well, not may, will impact truck drivers if they end up happening. So the first thing is there's a proposal, and it may go into a huge infrastructure bill or transportation bill, to expand parking at public rest areas. So rest areas on highways, not just tollways, and also commercialize them, meaning that there would be food service, maybe showers, they would sell fuel, they would have electric charging stations for cars and eventually trucks, and provide services that we typically associate with truck stops. I know that some of us, myself included, I don't necessarily use rest areas unless I have to. I call that camping. Some guys like going to rest areas. I prefer going to a truck stop. Why? Because I have services that I want to use, like showers, food service, stuff like that. That's just a personal preference, but and for me also, I tend to fuel in the mornings. Like, I do my pre-trip, then I put over to the pumps, get my fuel, and then I get on the road for the day. Can't do that at a rest area. I do use rest areas when I need to, but I prefer to go to a truck stop. So the idea of commercializing rest areas, though, as you can imagine, is getting some people a little bit hot under the collar. And so the National Association of Truck Stop Owners, in concert with several other entities, which I'll list here in a minute, are writing to Congress to say, oh, hey, this is going to hurt our business. It's going to hurt these small towns. It's going to basically cost us money, and it's not going to be good for local economies. Now, I tend to disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's not like the state, is going to not hire people to work at the trucks, at the concession stands, at the rest areas. So it's not like there's not going to be jobs created. That's the first thing. The second thing is, people are still, going to use truck stops, whether it's for loyalty reasons or other reasons. And third, it's just competition, right? A lot of these organizations that you'll see are all about the free market economy, until the free market economy isn't benefiting them directly. They're all about the market economy when it comes to raising the minimum wage. They're like, oh, we don't need to do it because the market will govern it. Okay, fine. I'll buy into that. But then you can't have your cake and eat it too. So, the free market is the free market, and it's competition for everybody. And so I think a lot of these outfits, and some of them, when I read this list, and by the way, I got this from a trucking publication, so this is not something I just pulled out of my hat. When I read this list, if you're like me, you're going to be scratching your head going, why are these people concerned about commercialization of rest areas. But anyway, so it's the National Association of Truck Stop Owners. That kind of makes sense. Now, then the rest of the list is the Asian American Hotel Owners Association, Energy Marketers of America, Franchise Business Services, International Franchise Association, National Association of Convenience Stores, National Automatic Merchandising Association, National Federation of the Blind. I got nothing there. National Franchisee Association, National League of Cities, National Restaurant Association, National Retail Federation, National Tank Truck Carriers, National Gas Vehicles for America, and Society of Independent Gasoline Marketers of America. Now, we are all familiar with rest areas that have services like I'm describing, restaurants, fuel, some other services. In fact, on the Ohio Turnpike, I've noticed I don't stop at a lot of those Turnpike-owned or rest areas, but I have noticed they even have showers there. So I'm just curious what everybody thinks about this. Personally, I'm all for competition, and I honestly don't understand why some of these people even care. But the National Federation for the Blind, like I said, I got nothing. I have no idea why they would be opposed to that. So anyway, thoughts on that? I'm open to suggestions. So the second thing that's going on, and this will impact a lot of us, is that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, where I happen to live, is moving forward with a plan, it looks like, to put tolls on several bridges around the state that are not currently tolled. These are bridges that I know I cross every time I'm in Pennsylvania with a truck. These are bridges on I-80, 81, 83, they're not on the Turnpike or the Turnpike extension or anything like that. These are bridges that are free right now, for lack of a better term. And of course, the Pennsylvania Truckers Association is opposed to it, and they say it'll hurt business, which is false. But the Commonwealth is saying, hey, look, we are suffering because we don't collect as much fuel tax revenue because vehicles get better mileage now, and there's been less traffic because of coronavirus. And I'm sure that's all true. And I am very confident that there are a lot of bridges in PA that need attention. And I would prefer not to be on a bridge if and when it collapses. And because if you've driven 80 during the day, you know how big of a fall that's going to be. It's probably going to dent your truck. So, I'm all for maintaining these bridges and the roads generally. But the other thing that's going on here that I don't think that any people that are outside of Pennsylvania probably wouldn't know is that, first, Pennsylvania already has the highest fuel tax in the country. But if you're doing anything in the Northeast, you're probably going to have to run through Pennsylvania. Like, you can get into New England or New York without going through Pennsylvania, but that means you're going through Jersey. Pennsylvania is kind of the gateway to the Northeast. It's just how it is. There are lots and lots of shippers and consignees in Pennsylvania. Everybody runs into PA. It's just how it is. And so it's important to recognize that there's no trucking company that's of any size that doesn't run in and out of Pennsylvania. That's the first thing. The second thing is, though, that in addition to the fuel taxes, the other thing that I think is in play is that Pennsylvania's income tax is a flat rate 3%. It is not a graduated progressive income tax like you see in lots of states. So what that means is that Pennsylvania, citizens are taxed typically. Some people are getting screwed because they might not pay any tax in other states, and people that are very wealthy are probably doing pretty well. The other thing that Pennsylvania doesn't tax, and I mean, this is just a little pitch for retirement, is, for instance, they don't tax my military pension. They also don't tax gains on qualified accounts like IRAs, 401ks, pension benefits. They don't tax any of that. So it's actually a pretty favorable state to retire in if you like Pennsylvania. It's not too shabby in that regard. But all of that contributes to a lack of money in the state coffers. So the state, wants to maintain these bridges, and they've decided that they're going to put tolls on them. I think that's going to happen. And by the way, the PA Turnpike raised rates by about 6% this year. I don't know. And that number's probably for cars. I don't know what it was for commercial vehicles. But I know that my company, which had previously not really said much about where you went, the past few times I've run into the Harrisburg area, my DM has been like, hey, avoid using 76. So, they've already raised toll rates. But this proposal is probably going to fly, and I'll tell you why. Because the average Pennsylvania citizen doesn't really care if people that cross those bridges have to pay. That's the first thing. The second thing is that they would rather have you and I or our companies pay those tolls than have their taxes go up. So that's the calculus. And that's why I'm pretty confident that this is going to happen. So it doesn't matter if your company is going to be like, oh, well, we want you to run I-80. You're still going to be incurring some toll costs, because I think that bridge at Clarion, there's a couple other bridges that cross pretty big spans on I-80 that you're probably going to see tolls on. And like I said, you're going to see tolls on 83. So the bridge that crosses the Susquehanna River on 83, where downtown Harrisburg is where you're right basically near downtown. I think they're going to toll that bridge. I think they're going to toll the bridge. That's what they call the South Bridge. The North Bridge is the bridge that goes over the Susquehanna on the north side of Harrisburg that's on I-81. I'm pretty sure they will toll that. So, pretty much anybody that runs in and out of Pennsylvania is going to incur those tolls. And so I'm just sharing that with you. I think it's coming. I don't think objections from the trucking industry are going to really carry a lot of weight there, because we're still going to need to run in and out of there. This idea that, it won't be lucrative to run in and out of there. I mean, we're just going to pass it along to shippers, and shippers are going to pass it along to their customers, and their customers are going to pass it along to consumers. I mean, that's just how things work. But then the consumers will be happy that their taxes didn't get raised. So anyway, just a couple of interesting things that are going on that impact the industry. Like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts about these things. And please stay tuned. Tell all your friends. We're going to have a series of shows, a series of videos on a lot of subjects that I think you'll find interesting. Taxes, retirement, insurance, stuff like that. I'm going to use my background as an investment advisor, licensed investment advisor, and as an attorney who worked with tons of small businesses over the years to kind of share some ideas. It's not going to be legal or financial advisory advice, but they're going to be ideas to point you in the right direction. I'm also going to provide some resources for you, including some people that I know that are in that business that I trust, I'll share their information with you and, you know, help you get ready for the next stage in your life, no matter what it is. So anyway, take care, be safe, and we'll be back with you soon. Bye.